Welcome back to the Scholarship Hustle College Recruiting Exposed, where we dive into the real journey of college recruiting. I'm Chris Daly, and today's episode is special because we're heading into the front lines. A parent who's walked the path with their athlete. Coach Esprit is joined by Lacarla Pitre, whose son, Eric Jr., is a freshman and a Pro7 Sports athlete with big dreams. Let's hear how this journey looks from a parent's point of view.
Thanks, Chris. I always say behind every focused athlete is a strong support system. There has to be. And that's why I'm excited for today's conversation with Ms. Pitre. She's been through, been there, from day one with Eric. And now they're on this recruiting journey together with Pro7 Sports. So we're going to talk about the wins, the challenges, and, just how it feels as a parent trying to guide your athlete toward a college opportunity. So welcome, Ms. Pitre.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm very proud of Eric, and I'm thankful for Pro7 platform. It's been amazing. It can feel a little overwhelming at times, but Pro7 has, given us a lot of support and direction during this process, and it's making all the difference because I'm out of touch with recruiting nowadays. Definitely out of touch.
Absolutely. So let's talk about why it's important to start early, right? Because early is better than later, but sometimes you get some misguided information about waiting to your junior year, waiting to your senior year. So let's dive into that. So how do you see the value of building good habits, mindset, routines early?
So I've taught Eric even before sports, which we've done sports all our lives, but preparation is key in anything. So whether from practices to games to just life in general, preparation is key. But I honestly thought it may have been a little too early. He's always kind of been a leader in his class. But I was like, well, people say wait till junior year. They can't talk to you till your junior year. And I'm like, that's kind of late. Then I hear people getting looks and offers and things in junior high and early in high school. And I'm like, well, maybe it is possible. Let's see what it's all, see what that part is all about. So I'm glad. I know that you're former alumni of the same high school, and I didn't know that you were in this business, but I'm so glad that we, had those conversations and actually wanted to got Eric started because he's starting to see what it's really about, playing AAU, playing select ball, and starting to see, that opportunities are being given to kids at a younger age.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, exposure doesn't happen by accident. When parents lock in early, it changes everything. The earlier, we can identify strengths, gaps, the better we can build a strategy that allows the athlete to gain maximum exposure at the end of the day. So let's talk about the learning curve of recruiting. So how has the learning curve gone for you, especially since, the transformation of what recruiting used to be, because, play hard, they'll find you. Those days are gone. So talk a little bit about that learning curve.
Absolutely. Those days are gone. You're right. I think AAU was just starting when I was in high school. So it was, you had to know somebody to be able to even get a tryout or an opportunity, unless you were just an absolute standout, which were few and far in between. But Pro7 has helped us see that there is a gateway for you to put yourself out there. Social media is running the world, as we know, but the platform that you guys have allows us to email coaches, put your footage on there from Twitter to Insta, and have your own profile to be able to send to coaches, and to be able to see that they're looking at you. It's like, wow, they see me, and they may actually be following me for a while. So if I keep adding to my social media and things of that nature, then I will get the opportunity to try to get to some of those camps, do the questionnaires, those things. It's awesome that you guys have that platform to be able to to organize it for us, because I don't know where I don't know where I'd be. Just listening to people and getting all the emails because these kids get bombarded with all the, I guess, money grab camps because you get on some mass email list and people are just trying to get $400 or $500 for camps when they really just are getting people there, and they may have a third assistant coach there just to say that a school is there, and you're not really getting much benefit from that.
Right.
So that's been awesome for me. So, and for Eric.
Great.
But on the emotional side, they want it so bad, and you want to see your child's dreams come true. He's been carrying around a football for ever. And he finally decided that football was his passion after playing football, basketball, baseball, track, everything that he does. He just decided that football was his passion. And like I tell him with anything else, yes, we have to do the work, not just putting in the work on the field and in the weight room, but actually in your recruiting process. And Troy, thank you for helping me with that, because he's starting to understand and see the fruits of his labor.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Lone Star Gridiron is looking for interns. Over the years, we have helped dozens of students get jobs in sports media. If you want to shortcut your path to a career in sports media, click on the internship link on LoneStarGridiron.com.
So now let's go behind the scenes and talk about what most people don't see, because a lot of recruiting is behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. It isn't in the forefront. So how are we balancing school, training, the financial end, the emotional end, time invested from you as a parent?
So balancing school, which is always number one priority, it becomes challenging, especially freshman year, because high school sports are way more involved, like with baseball and basketball, 2 games a week. The other days are practice days. We just got home from practice. He got out of practice at 6. We just got home about 6:30, and it's time for dinner. You got to do homework. And of course, he's exhausted, but you got to get it done. And here we go, starting again at 6 the next morning. But me being a shift worker, I work rotating days and nights. Thank God I have a supportive family from, my parents. We're always juggling, who's picking him up. Or if I got to go to work, I'm going to go to his game, and then somebody else is going to come, they're going to stay after the game to get him home, make sure he's fed, all the things of that nature. But, and a lot of times I have to give him a calendar. This is what you have this week. So you make sure that you have your clothes clean, have your clothes out for these events. Make sure that you are organized yourself, because you have to start being more responsible for those things. So it is definitely a challenge balancing with my work schedule and my family. But like I said, we make it work. It's a circus sometimes, but we get it done. But on the emotional and financial part of it, again, you always want to see your kids' dreams come true. And most of the time we give the shirt off our backs, for our kids to have, especially in some of the select sports. It's very costly. And you just kind of have to find what's for you, for your kid, and for you. Some teams may be good, but it may not be a fit for your child. And we've been in those positions as well. I mean, some stages you have daddy ball, you have some of those things, but and some people coach because they want to see their kids get better. Not all, but some. But you just kind of got to feel, and I really pray about where to place him, because I don't want to have him on a team just because it's good and he's not really getting benefit. He's not growing. So development is one of the things that it's hurting a lot of, that kids still need to be developed, not just being used for what the talent that they have. And that's been my biggest thing, especially with him starting this so young. Keep developing, set your goals, make sure you're working toward those goals and hopefully, achieving those. So, but, it's a good journey. We're enjoying it. He's starting to really embrace it more, because he acts like he's shy, but he's starting to Mom, you see this? You see the school look at? You see, he's starting to get excited. Like, I actually can go to this school. I actually can go, I have an opportunity to do these things. I'm like, yes. Whereas, and he's starting to see kids in the area, Draylon Miller and some of the kids that have taken time from their, that are in the area to come and see their games and talk with them and text them and stuff. It's like, this is possible. He's playing for Colorado. This is awesome. We have family playing for different schools, big D1 schools. It's like, wow.
Yep.
That's awesome. So it is possible, and he's starting to see that it's hitting closer to home that you can do it. So in Pro7, yes.
That's good. That's good stuff. And see, this is why your voice is important, because when other parents hear your experience, they realize they're not crazy for feeling overwhelmed. I mean, it is a real thing. They just need a team behind them, and you have your family behind you, and you have us. And we're a firm believer in family. That's why we always say welcome to the family when we bring an athlete on board. So, what do you see in Eric since joining Pro7 Sports? You talked briefly about it, but are there some other things that you're starting to see from him, maybe opening up and things of that nature?
Oh, the confidence is unreal. It's unbelievable, but it's great to see.
Yes,
the shoulders are even, out when he walks. He walks in the football workouts, or he walk in the gym or anything. It's like I'm seen. Like I know I'm a football player. But he's putting in the work at the same time. He's putting in the work in the gym. He's putting in the work, on the field, and putting in the work in his recruiting process, and seeing that, he's locking in to know that that's going to be me. That can be me. So that confidence is awesome, and it helps in all areas of your life, right? That is awesome to see. So
there you go.
Success begins with the right mindset. Are your team, organization, or students ready to elevate their performance in sports, business, and life? Coach Esprit brings real talk and real motivation, pushing individuals and teams to break through their limits. Whether it's corporate leadership or student-athlete success, his proven BES formula, belief plus execution equals success, delivers real results. As the author of 2 empowering self-help books, Coach Esprit inspires athletes, employees, and leaders to perform at their peak. Book Coach Esprit for your next conference, seminar, or team event. Visit CoachEsprit.com now.
Let's give our listeners some advice as a parent. So what advice would you give to parents listening?
Do not wait. Don't wait, guys. Don't assume your high school coach is handling it. Nothing against the high school coaches, but they have tons of kids. So don't just assume they're handling it. You need to be behind your kid. You need to be supporting your kid. Be involved. Ask questions. Don't surround yourself with people, surround yourself with people that have been there, that have been in the same shoes that you're in. Ask those questions. I have a niece that just went to Baylor last year. So my brother-in-law, talked to him today. He was like, okay, what campus is he going to for the summer? What do you have lined up? Because those people have been there. They know what you should be doing at this stage. Because I was more like, well, we'll just stay around here, do some of the small. He's like, no, this is what you're going to do. I'm telling you, I've been through this process. So, but of course, I would listen to him because they've been through the process and they know. And of course, I text you random questions. You're probably like, she's getting on my nerves. But I'm like, I don't know. So, and thank you. You always respond back, but you got to pick like which camps, which things should I do, shouldn't do, those kind of things. So, but be involved. This journey is very emotional, but it's worth it when your child's being guided the right way. So they're going to encounter some hard times or some times when they may feel like, they can't do it, but we have to be there to encourage them. Or they may not get what they think they want, what they want or what they think they should have. But like I told Eric, you need to keep working. Keep working. What God has for you is definitely going to be for you if you're putting in the work to get that. So
yeah, that's the truth. That's the complete truth. And you touched on something, about not relying on your high school coach. I've been a high school coach for, over 17 years. And I can tell you my job was never to get an athlete to college. That has to be something inside of you as a coach, because I didn't sign a contract that said I had to get every kid that could compete to the next level. It just has to be something inside of you as a coach. But high school coaches, that's not their job. It's just truly not their job. They won't get hired or fired based on the number of kids that get college scholarships. And that's just the truth. That's the God honest truth. But at the end of the day, you have coaches that have resources, that have the ability to help. And then you have coaches that just don't. It's okay. It don't lean on them to be able to get your kids in. You as a family have to take control of your recruiting.
Absolutely.
Because the recruiting process is not just about the athlete. It's about the entire family, and when parents like you are involved the right way, the success rate goes way up. And, you don't always see it. It comes in little spurts until it just blows up. And it is a waiting game. You start early. It is a waiting game, and you build to that explosion. Now, where the athlete's going to end up, it's going to be based on that athlete's play.
Right.
Because if your strategy is right, you'll get in front of the coaches you need to get in front of, because all athletes just want an opportunity. We don't want anything handed to us, although we'll take it. But we just want an opportunity. And getting that maximum exposure is that opportunity. So tell me what's next, for Eric. Do you have anything lined up for him, or just what's next in general?
So focus on his grades, number one, absolutely. Continue to build his film. And through that, always remember to stay humble. God has given you all the talent and ability that He's given you. Stay humble. This is not a marathon. I say that all the time. This is a marathon, should I say. It's not a sprint. So we're in it for the long haul, and we're going to wind up where God wants us to be.
Oh, that's the type of stuff I love here, because, when an athlete has family that believes in them and a plan behind them, that's where the magic starts to happen. So look, Miss Pitre, we appreciate you for trusting us with Eric's future, and we look forward to what's to come as well. So as we do on every one of our shows, as we drop some gems, we try to leave our listeners with some gems and some takeaways, and today's no different. And I'll give the parents a few takeaways that they can use in their recruiting journey. Number one, start early. We've talked about this. Start early. Don't wait until your junior or senior year. That is not the plan. That is not the right plan for any athlete in any sport. So start early. The second gem is be your child's biggest fan and advocate. The biggest fan you can be and the biggest advocate, but not add to the pressure. I know there's dads out there, I'm one of them, that wants to put pressure on the kid because there's going to be pressure in sports. But what I mean is, don't put added pressure during practice. Don't put added pressure during games. If you're the one training your athlete, put a little pressure on your athlete, but don't add to the pressure of game day. Just be the biggest fan that day, the biggest advocate. Gem number 3, your presence matters way more than you'll ever know as far as a parent is concerned. And some may listen to that and say, well, that should be, that should go without saying. But there's a lot of parents that don't truly understand how much their presence really, really matters. So be there. Be there as much as you possibly can.
Hey, Coach. Lone Star Gridiron has been the leader in Coach's Show podcasts for 20 years. And now you can get your own Coach's Show podcast each week during the season as a fundraiser for your booster club. Yes, booster clubs all over are using these podcasts to help their sports programs. You get to share the stories of your program and your kids to a huge audience and make money. We started with just football, but this year have expanded to make them available for all sports. Call 713-269-4620 to find out the details and get your Coach's Show started.
So look, to every parent listening, the process can be confusing, it can be frustrating and emotional. You have to develop a strategy that is specific for your athlete's success. So shout out to Ms. Pitre and Eric for being part of our recruiting family. And if your athlete wants to play at the next level, the first thing that they need to do is get on the college prospect report. report. collegeprospectreport.com/questionnaire. This is an opportunity for your athlete to get evaluated by college coaches. Now, look, success doesn't happen by accident. It is a result of a strategy, sacrifice, and support. So behind every recruited athlete is a parent who believed, prepared, and stayed in the fight. So your journey absolutely matters. Peace. Thank you.
Good stuff. Another inspiring message. And please do us a favor. Share this with a parent you know that may need some clarity, some confidence, and some community when it comes to this whole scholarship hustle. And subscribe now. New episodes will drop every other Tuesday. Thanks a lot.